300. What's the deal? It's your folks, Shaka. I wanted to share my thoughts with y'all real quick. So, yeah, I wanted to speak about the three classes of culture. This is a topic that I have been telling y'all I was going to cover for about a year and some months. Um, Today, I finally had the time, place, space. And so that is why I am speaking on it today. Now, there are various topics that I have not got around to speaking about that people continue to ask me about. I am going to get around to these subjects. Some of y'all who are asking me these things do not follow us on all platforms. If you're waiting on some exclusive video, if you're one of the few who are waiting on some of these exclusive videos that we are telling you we are going to drop, be sure to follow us on our platforms, okay? Because it's not a guarantee that we're going to drop it on one platform or the other exclusively, all right, or first. And so I just wanted to say that, but just hopping on into it, this is going to be a brief description. And like I said, this is for those that matter out there. You know, those that actually want to be better tomorrow. All right. We believe that this is important to those group of people. Okay. Because it helps you have a better understanding. If anything, at the least, it helps you have a better understanding of what's going on around you. Okay. And so, and then second, you know, it helps you with, you know, figuring out how to establish or be a part of your own group, okay, that we would hope will eventually mean something to the collective of so-called black people on out to the world, okay? And so just speaking about these three classes of culture, okay, because all groups start at the first class, and, you know, ideally, in a perfect world, what we would want is for them to move to the final class, okay? And, you know, if that happens, is going to be determined on what that group is about, okay? And how they evolve and what they value. And so the first class, all right, and just in simple terms, for those, you know, that don't want to think too deeply, the first class is the class of belonging, okay? And you know, with this group with this class of culture, you typically find a group of people that, just like I said, they just want to belong, okay? They want to fit into other people's cultures and communities, all right? The desire to really establish and have their own, all right, as well as make it a benchmark for what others should, you know, follow. That's not really there with them, okay? And so oftentimes you don't see a lot of things, okay? They don't retain history for real. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes they don't initiate the solutions or resolutions that will kind of like solve their problems. They look to the example or effort of some of the other more established groups of people, okay, to kind of like figure things out. And obviously, when I talk about this, you probably can get an idea of black integrationists, okay? They are by far, okay, a culture in which they just want to belong, okay? And so those are just some of the things that you see. Again, I want to be brief about this. I don't want to really, you know, drag it out. You can check some of the text over the video, but that's the first class of culture. It's just the culture of belonging, Okay, there's no desire to really do much of anything but belong. Okay, yes, they'll get out there and do what they have to do to kind of maintain households, put some food on their table, but at the end of the day, their effort is not to really be a more established unit as a group of people that can do more collectively together and bring more back to their circle. It's not about that. It's just about trying to be a part of other groups of people who got those things plus more. And so, second is the culture class of survival. Okay, and typically at this stage, you find groups of people that understand that it's better to be with than without. Okay, they understand it's going to take them collectively as a group of people to really just survive, all right, and get what they need, okay, for their families and things like that. And so oftentimes with this example, you think about, for example, a lot of Hispanic groups, okay, you see that in them, all right. Yeah, a lot of them still be having that desire to really, just attach to various other groups of people, especially so-called white people or whatever. Sometimes they even want to attach to a lot of black integrationists or whatever. But for the most part, all right, they lead with, okay, this understanding that, look, we got to stick together, all right? And so things with them, family is important, okay? And they might not care about, a lot of their history, but some of the beneficial parts of their history, okay, they care about it, all right? They care about, to a certain extent, doing things about their problems. Okay, they're going to initiate the solutions and resolutions to fix their problems, okay, and things of that nature. It's a little different than the group who is a part of the culture of belonging. Okay, they just want to belong. So you got that class of culture. Then you got the third class, which is pretty much a benchmark culture. It's a benchmark class of a culture. These people are typically what these other groups of cultures aspire to be. Okay, they aspire to be in their position. Okay, one way or the other. Whether they are sitting back in that culture class of belonging and they just want to fit in and be up there and they're willing to do whatever. Okay, or they are a part of the culture class of survival. And they're probably like in the mindset, all we got to do is, tweak ourselves a little more so that we can get over this hump and we can be in that position. All right. They are the benchmark. Okay. They are typically the culture class of people that people look to. Okay. For various different answers and understanding of what the world is about, okay, and what it can be like, or what they don't want it to be like. All right, it doesn't mean that that culture class is technically really liked by various different other groups of people, okay, but they can definitely see them as a benchmark of the position that they would want to have their groups of people in. All right. You typically get, a lot of information out of these groups of people, or these culture classes of people, should they choose to share it with you. All right. And they just overall have much more of an influence on this world, okay, and how it works and functions over the other groups that I just mentioned. So, man, I just wanted to speak in this in brief. I like to try to keep these things under 10 minutes. We might follow back up and speak a little more in depth, but that's a brief description of the three culture classes. And so you got to ask yourself, which one do you and your group of people fall into? And what are y'all aspiring to do? It's 300.